It is Friday night. It is live. It's improv. And it's from New York City. What the heck more could you want? Hey, thank you and welcome, and thank you for joining us. Hey, first thing we're going to do is called a conducted story. What's happening is we're all going to work together to tell the same story all together. And to make it a little bit more interesting, we are going to tell, each of us, it has our own genre that we're going to tell that story in. So we all work together to tell a single story. Hey, can we, real quickly, let's recap. What is your genre, Sandi?
Romance.
Romance. Anya?
Children's book.
Yes, it is. Taylor?
I'm a comic book.
Aren't we all? Steve?
Like Gardening Man?
Sweet, not that kind of garden. Only illegal in some states.
Organic.
Heidi, how about you?
I am a technical manual.
I love it. JodyLee, what are you doing?
Sci-fi.
Me up. Don?
Documentary.
Beauteous. Elke, what are you doing?
Poetry.
Love it. And Barry, what are you up to?
Mysterious.
Well, speaking of mysterious, we already have the title of the story that we are going to be telling for you today, and it is called On to Malvern. And I guarantee, we've already talked about it, not a single person in this cast knows what the hell Malvern is. So if you know, put it in the comments sometime in the future. All right, let's get started. We now present to you On to Malvern. And we are going to start with Elke.
A trip is not only a trip, it is also a journey for the mind. Where you go, where you be, who knows, who sees, but you in your mind's eye. Your third.
Taylor.
The mind's eye. It was here. Or was it? Oh no! Is that? It is that. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Because eventually, the road opened wide, wider than my mind. On the road to Malvern.
Freeze. Barry.
All of the Malvernians were quite mystic. We never quite knew where they came from, except maybe from Malvern. We explored the Malvernians and their mind eye in a way that never quite was understood by science. And there, science left the departed road, the fork in the road where only the spirit could take us off to.
Freeze. Anya.
So the little girl asked, Mommy, are Malverian looking just like us? And Mommy said, yes, Malverian looks just like us, except they have one big eye in the middle of their forehead. Can they see better with the one eye than we can see with the two? The little girl asked. And Mommy said, of course they can see better because they don't have to look left and right. They always can see.
Heidi.
Page 1. A. One eye is better than two. Read if you don't understand. Turn back to the preface. In the preface, there is a description of what page 1 is trying to tell you. Observe the illustration.
Elke.
Illustrations. What are
Sandi.
More than a picture. She saw him shirtless at the crest of the hill during sunset. She wanted to run to him. And then she looked to make sure his one eye was focused on her. Oh, breathless, she reached his shirtless body, running her hand
Over the shirtless body. The last shirtless body that had been found was in 1929. Indeed, on the outskirts of Malvern, where there was a small house. Inside that house, we really didn't know. We take you to that with the person who was there at the time.
Peace, Steve.
Yeah, man, the person who was there at the time, like you got to come into the house, man, because that's where all the plants and the seeds are. And the plants and the seeds are there. And if you look with your one eye or even your third eye, you'll see them at various stages of development. And now it's time to take them outside, take them out of the pot and put them in the ground. Now,
Peace, JodyLee.
So the Malvernians were very concerned about the reactions of all the people, including Rowena, the little girl who was very concerned about their single eye. And Rowena turned to her mommy and said, is there a crack in the time warp continuum, mommy? And her mommy said, well, there may be, dear, but we have our phaser guns and we can take care of anything that will come along if it's menacing. But they might not be menacing.
Elke.
menacing with the third eye, tasers, locked and loaded. But where will they go? What will they do? Who will they kill? Malvernia!
Please, Anya.
And so the little girl said, do I have to be scared, Mommy, of any other Malverians? And Mommy assured her, not, my dear. These are very nice creatures. They will protect you. They'll protect everybody.
Please, John.
They not only protect everybody, but they also protect animals. These are the great protectors. The great protectors who indeed actually were very, very kind to every single human being and animal.
Please, Sandi.
Kindness exuded his pores. And then, Rowena, I saw this raven-haired child looking just like him, clutching around his little thigh, holding on desperately. I'm not a stranger. I'm not a stranger. We're all in this together.
Please, Heidi.
Turned corner, kind of messed up with kids' fingerprints. B, when you're all in this together, examine page 25. Different directions for page 25. Malvernia has different directions when you hit Route 25.
Please, Taylor.
Route 25 in my eye of Malvernia. I had arrived and the plants were there. I was grateful, but I was also very confused. I didn't know what or how or when or where. It was though I had traveled through a space-time continuum unknowingly, finding myself in a bizarre documentary that was somehow science fiction and romantic at the same time.
Please, JodyLee.
It was very science fictionally romantic. And Rowena talked to the Malvernians because she was so open and trusting. And she discovered that their litanium batteries needed recharging, which could happen only in the sunshine filtered through a garden.
Freeze. Steve.
And yeah, so we have the garden here, we charging our batteries, and the Malvernians there are recharging all their batteries. And Rowena here, she knows that anytime you come through a time-space continuum, you gotta watch out for time-space continuum disease. When the plants start disappearing, that means you got the disease, and you have to reach through the time continuum and bring them back.
Freeze and Barry.
The time-space continuum brought Rowena to Malvern. She became the chosen one, and only the chosen one knew the recipe for ice. She held that recipe close to her heart, and it was a mystery to all of us as to how to unlock that recipe so that we too could share with Malvern the ice that's needed for our cocktails.
Freeze. Elke.
Drink of the cocktail of life, Malvernia martinis. They nourish the body, the space-time continuum, continue.
And there's your story. On to Malvern. Brought to you by us. It's Friday night. It's live. It's improv. It's New York. Thanks for joining us. We're going to be back in just a few more months.